Christian here, and it's time for the only memories video of 2022. 2022 was an interesting year for myself, and it was a great year of personal growth, a lot for myself. It was a year of many great things. Leading an organization I belong to was a great feeling, and being able to travel with that and explore other avenues in my life that I hadn't been able to do because of how much time I was investing in the channel was a great thing. So today I am here to chat with you about my Western Maryland Scenic 1309 memories. I don't even know where to really begin. The Western Maryland Scenic Railroad. My love for the railroad started when I first got the videotape all about fast-moving trains. I've spoken about this many times. And right now what I am going to try and do is show you a few locations from all about fast-moving trains with 1309 instead of 734. But my love for centered headlight locomotives started with this videotape, and then seeing 610 in person in 1995 or 96. I watched that tape so many times as a kid, I couldn't even begin to tell you. And the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad was a railroad I always wanted to visit. I was growing up, became a teenager, and for a lot of years I didn't even think about trains. And then when I broke my leg when I was a sophomore in high school in 2008, I remember watching train videos on YouTube, wanting to go see steam engines, and my grandfather took an interest in it. And of course, I found it by chance on YouTube from watching videos that Joe Fusco put up and John O'Clair put up on his original YouTube channel. I found the engine from All About Fast Moving Trains, Western Maryland Scenic 734. And when I found out how close it was to me, my grandfather and I always toyed with the idea of going to see it. Now, unfortunately, when it was operational, I never made plans to go down there, never was able to. And the last year was in operation. I remember knowing it was its last year in operation, and unfortunately, I was working a lot of temp jobs then, and I was not able to see it before it went out. And that will always be the biggest bummer for me. I remember reading about how there was this other engine they were hoping to restore. It was going to be the Beast of the East, and it was the Chesapeake and Ohio 1309, and I remember seeing pictures of that. I was like, yuck, this thing is ugly. But as they announced it was going to return to operation in 2017, I got excited. It was my first chance that I'd finally be able to see the railroad that I had been watching videos about since I was a kid. I couldn't wait to finally see Helmstedter's Curve, Trimble Lane, Woodcock Hollow, Parkersburg, Brush Tunnel. All these locations I was finally going to be able to see, and I was excited and I was looking forward to it. And then we all know about the delays, but I want to state in this video was the last adventure me, Chris, and Go planned before Go's departure. It was the first adventure Matt was planning on attending with us officially as a member of our channel. And there was delays in 2017. They announced it was going to return again in 2019. There was delays. And then 2020, during the pandemic, they did all this work to it, getting it ready, and it moved for the first time at the end of 2022. 2021 came, and what seemed like an eternity, everyone, including myself, was waiting for this thing to finally return. And guess what? It finally did. For Polar Express runs in 2021. I went down there and chased with a great group of people. The Nuga Railfan, Keeper of Steam Productions, GT Railfan Productions, Curtis Huey, Crooked Signal Media, BLE866, Drop Signal Productions, and there were so many other people out that weekend, but it was a great weekend. And even though it was pretty much one shot of chase, I walked away satisfied with a lot of the things I got. On these runs, the train only went from Cumberland to Helmstedter's Curve, and it stops right in the middle of the curve. I originally had plans to shoot the train on the curve no matter what, but I was talked out of it by a few friends because of another location I was shown, Bone Cave. When the Welcome Back 1309 charter was announced, I got tickets within 5 minutes because I knew I was not going to miss that. And fantastically, I'm glad I did not. Starting off Friday night with a ride up to Frostburg at nighttime, to going to classic locations between day 1 and day 2. Again, I hung out with a lot of the people I did at the December runs. It was a great time with great friends, perfect lighting, going to Helmstedter's, City Junction, The Narrows, West Helmstedter's, Coal Tipple, Gardner's Meadow, and even Frostburg. It was a great way to see 1309 return to action. One of the coolest things about the charter was the fact that we actually had authentic Western Maryland diesels operating on the line. Now, I'm sure at some point over a 30-year run of the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad, I'm pretty sure there has been authentic Western Maryland diesels running there before. But this is the first time since I've been able to get down there that I was able to experience it. And I know they were used early on in 1309's operating season this year. But one of the diesels, I can't remember which one, but it was the one that was actually facing towards Cumberland, had issues the Sunday afternoon, and that is what led to the so many photo run-bys in Gardner's Meadow, which I gotta admit was cool because I pretty much knocked that place out of the park. Like every angle I had possible there after seeing the big open space, I pretty much knocked out of the park. Not gonna lie, I would love to shoot it again in the fall when there is fall foliage there because I think it would be beautiful, but yeah. That was one of my favorite memories from this trip, was being able to knock out Gardner's Meadow the way that I did. And gotta say, those Western Maryland diesels were awesome. They complemented 1309 in so many ways, and we even got to see 501 when the one diesel did break down. I had planned to go down over the summer to shoot 1309. Never happened. I planned when I heard the New York Central 6 chime was on the locomotive to go down and see the engine. Never happened. And then finally, after realizing I needed a steam fix, I finally went and saw the engine in October. And again, I chased with great people, Train Wizard Productions, Keeper of Steam, BTC 101 Film Productions. After everything pretty much got canceled, from seeing 765 on INER, 2102 on the Return of the Iron Horse Rambles, and everything else, I legitimately did not think I was going to see steam again. And then I had this last minute rush after a few things happened personally, and I was like, you know what, I'm going back out to see 1309 because I wanted to hear that New York Central 6 chime that was on the locomotive. And I lucked out. A weekend when I had a Grotto Association meeting I was supposed to go to, the weekend of the 14th, I trekked down there on a Friday to get the basic shots on a beautifully sunny day and to hear that New York Central 6 chime, which sounded fantastic. Finally being able to get the departure shot, Helmstedter's Curve, Trimble Lane, which is bucket list material for myself, and getting a shot of the Frostburg Station because I do love classic depots. That was a great way to kick off the chase. And then the next weekend I went back down, ran into Train Wizard, Keeper of Steam, and BTC 101 Film Productions. And that's when I shot the second half of the video, and I just was able to get so many classic shots. Woodcock Hollow, City Junction, Parkersburg Road, and the tunnel, which unfortunately didn't turn out as well as what I wanted to, but I knew going into it, it was going to be a pain because of how backlit it was. This video, I think, so far was the best I've heard 1309 work. The October Fall Flyer was the video I'd been wanting to shoot all year with the 1309, and it came out fantastic. It was a great weekend. It was great to finally see the 1309 in operation. And I got to hear two cool whistles on the locomotive, the Norfolk and Western Hooter and the New York Central 6 chime, which I know the New York Central 6 chime does not fit the locomotive, but it is a fantastic whistle. So coming up now in 2 weeks is going to be my director's cut of the 1309. And this is going to feature shots from the inaugural Christmas train runs in 2021, the Welcome Back Charter in 2022, and the Fall Flyer excursions of 2020. Anyhow, I'm Christian, and I hope you enjoyed this video.